I named the Oscar. And fascinatingly enough, the only night I was not asked this question was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the night of the Oscar show, which I thought was very, very strange. Because I'm always asked that. I was asked that everywhere in Australia and New Zealand. Well, I feel I did.
How?
My first husband's middle initial was O, and he never would tell me what it was, because he detested the name so. And finally I found out that his middle name was Oscar. And the rear end of the Oscar looked like him. And I always called it Oscar. Now, the Academy refuses to accept this, and I sort of willingly go.
Yes, that's the kind of sort of lasting monument, isn't it, if that's true? Yeah.
Yes, he has a lasting monument, that's right.
In fact, to get to Hollywood as such.
Oh, I never thought of that. I always thought of, I started out in the theater in the beginning, and then Talking Pictures came along, and they wanted everybody from theater to come and see who would be good on the screen. And so we all just went. It was a new adventure, and one felt one should try it. And just in my case, worked out that I never went back. None of us really were the same type, you see. We were great puzzlements. We weren't beautiful women. We didn't sort of behave in a Hollywood way off screen, you know. We were not glamorous women from the theater. That's right. We were puzzlements. So there were quite a few years of puzzlement.
When you first went there, you said you were a puzzlement to all these people, and indeed you must have been.
Did they? In a film called Fashions of 1934. Yes, they made me up as nearly as possible to look like Miss Garber, which of course is utterly impossible. They gave me the lovely long bob, and the nice, beautiful wide mouth, and the long, long lashes. It was really sickening, because it wasn't my type. And thank God I had brains enough to know that, you know, and I never let them do that again.
Yeah. How do you mean you never let them do that again?
Because I just didn't. I just said you cannot either fire me or let me be what I personally am. You cannot be somebody else,
but
or a copy, or anything else.
But as a contract artist, of course, I would imagine that took a certain amount of guts, didn't it?
Well, yes. Yes, I was a meddler for my own good, but it becomes self-preservation, really. If it had continued that way, changed their noses, changed everything, and those who had any individuality just never made it, because they just looked phony.
Yes.
I wasn't in the beginning. I really didn't. I didn't know if it would work out.
What about if you crossed them, wasn't there a danger, no matter how talented you were, of being
suspended indefinitely?
Well, no, because in the very beginning you don't cross them very much. You know, in the very beginning I made 8 and 10 films a year, dreadful films. Jumper was the name of one.
Irish.
Bureau of Missing Persons. Oh, I can't remember the terrible titles and the terrible scripts. You know, but you did that in the beginning. In the beginning, you could not choose your own material, naturally.
Yes.
And then finally, if you had any courage, you had to do something about it, or you never would have had a career.
Yes. Of course, I suppose...
The first step on the ladder. And that was a loan out to us. Right.
Can you still do the accent?
Well, I'm not going to sit there and do it. Yes, I received many compliments. Of course, when I started the film, with an all-English cast, particularly Mr. Leslie Howard, they were very, very distraught.
Really?
They're very upset, an American girl playing